Now, 6:01, I open up this meeting. Rise to the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I am Mike Arms, Supervisor.
Diana Klein.
All right, Debbie Dougherty, Councilperson Debbie Dougherty, and Councilman Gregory Simpson will be here shortly, perhaps. They told me they would be here, but at quorum right now, so it's going to start going with this. All right, the first thing we have open up right now, I make a motion to open up public comment number 1. Do I have a second? Do I have any discussion on it?
Who seconded?
There isn't anyone.
All right. And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. You have a list of
There is nobody yet.
no one on the list?
Do you not want to speak? This is a
You want
public
yours to
comment
speak?
time.
Okay. I know the comments. Okay, roll the piece. I make a motion to close public comment. All right, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, the first matter here is the approval of the minutes.
You have the March 10th minutes.
Have you all seen the March 10th minutes?
Those were sent today. They're also on the website.
I made it, I read the minutes and I made a
Well,
comment.
they've just said today, we didn't read them, and we got two of the people that aren't here, so.
Definitely.
Okay.
Okay. And the March 24th minutes haven't been done yet?
It'll be out tomorrow, I think.
Okay. All right, what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna straight from the agenda a little bit. Mike Schultz has an emergency call right now. There's a tree down in Field Bay in Old Hurley. He has to leave, but he has some presentations here that he wants to go to. Michael? Yeah.
Just wanted to state that we got the brush pickup going. Old Hurley will be April 27th to the 1st, and then the following week will be West Hurley. And I thank the board for putting forward the resolution to allow free brush for residents at the transfer station. That's going to be a big help. I've had fielded a lot of calls from the residents about it, and they're just as pleased to take the brush up there themselves, limiting the brush to a couple cubic feet. And in the last few years, there's been brush piles 6 feet tall, longer than the length of this room. And we just don't have the manpower with all the drainage we have to do. We've already gotten out, we've done pipes on Pine Street, crossover pipe, and a drainage pipe to alleviate water undermining the road. We're up on Laurel Lane now, we're doing the same thing. So we've got almost 300-foot pipe in already before we get down to Joy's Lane. And we might have to jump over to Terry Lane. Matt got me the easement. I'm meeting with the landowner Thursday morning at 7:45, and hopefully we'll get that easement signed. And he's going to just get that first section of pipe in so that they can go ahead and do the landscaping or whatever before they put fences up and all kinds of other things. So, we came out of the gate swinging this year with projects. I've got a couple resolutions before you tonight. One, to get back up to full staff. We need an HMEO and, of course, a secretary. You guys have put a couple more resolutions forward. And then I had a backhoe on in March, and I wasn't at the meeting to answer your questions. I did answer the questions in an email yesterday. And if you had any more questions, I can respond. But it's something that's sorely needed. Our backup loader is 35 years old, and the oil cooler went out of it last year when we were using it to load stone at the church for the Joy's Lane project. And that causes the engine to overheat rapidly, and it's about a $6,000 repair. And for $6,000 into a machine that's only worth $7,000 or $8,000 just doesn't make fiscal sense. And it serves its useful purpose. And in order to take care of what we have to do, both to keep the safety in the town in emergency situations. Like what I discussed with Cynthia yesterday when we had that safety meeting about being prepared for emergency instances. We need a loader with a 4-in-1 bucket, like when we had a tornado a couple years ago, an ice storm. So we
This
have
is
money in
like
the budget.
This is the backup, not the bucket.
This is a backhoe, and it'll perform more functions than just a loader. It has a 4-in-1 bucket, it can dig ditches, it can do a lot of different things, and it'll prepare us better to take care of what we have to take care of. And the life expectancy of that is about 10 to 15 years or more. So it's a good purchase. Other than that,
There's some questions here that Debbie wrote in, Debbie Dowdy. All right, question is there an option to repair? And you said there is not.
why are we gonna put $6,000 in a machine that's only worth $8,000? It's one major breakdown away from scrap. You know, if I can put it on the auction block and get $10,000 for it, it's a win for the town.
The other question she asked is it possible to share with another town? Share.
In a situation with that type of equipment, you need it when you need it. You're using it every day almost, and if there's an emergency situation, the neighboring town is most likely going to be in an emergency situation too, so everybody's gonna be scrambling over one the same sheet. I mean, we share a paver and a roller with Woodstock and Ulster since I came on board, and it was always tough because when we wanted to pave, we had to make sure that either the roller or the paver was available, and the schedules restricted a lot, and so it was really tough. When town of Ulster utilized a lot of their funds that they got from working for the sewer and water departments, was able to buy a new $270,000 paver. They wanted us to go in on it too, meaning Woodstock and Hurley. I just didn't have $90,000 to do that, so we kept the old paver, and we have that in our inventory now. So that when we have to go out and pay, we just pull it out and we go. And you know, if we don't have the bar roller available that we share between Ulster and Woodstock, and I borrow one from one of the other towns, but we get it, we get it done, and it's a lot more convenient for us to get things done at a reduced cost to the taxpayers. So
The other question she asked for is, can we consider renting?
yeah. And did you see my email?
I saw your response.
Yeah,
I want that.
renting a machine is just not cost effective. It's a terrible route to go. It's just way more expensive, and you, at the end of the day, you don't own anything.
All right, and so basically, the backhoe is gonna cost $176,000.
I think it was $174,081.51, if I recall correctly. I actually got them to reduce the delivery today by $5 because I had reissued a quote to Samara. And that quote was given back in February. So it's over 30 days, but they agreed to do it. It's Sourcewell. Sourcewell is the new option for all the general services to do the bidding. Sourcewell goes out, does all the bidding process, OGS approves it all, and then the municipalities and the state can use that. So we cover all our bases on it. Yeah. It's where contracts are listed right on the resolution.
Any other questions on this? Well, there's 3 resolutions that he has here. You guys are voting on them right now.
And it takes us if we order it, it'll take 90 days to get it. We'll get it around July 4th.
All right, well, the first resolution here is to hire Chris Maravadakis as a full-time highway heavy motor equipment operator at HMEO. All right, that will be, by hiring him, we got the full squad, right, full staff? That's 9?
Yeah.
Hold on.
9 in the mechanic.
Right, so it's already been budgeted for. I think I started at the budgeted for having 9.
When's the start date?
He's asking when to start date. is.
Tomorrow he would come in and complete his paperwork tomorrow and start right away. He comes to us from the city of Kingston Park and Rec. He's probably
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I
sorry.
just want to make clarification because for.
Houston lives right behind the Hickory Park, you know,
Exactly.
so he's 5 minutes from the shop.
It's gonna be tomorrow. I've already spoke, you came into the office and I've already spoken to him and.
They said that, he liked you. He liked you. And now you gotta get the contract on.
All right, any further questions on the resolution? Okay, I make a motion to accept, Chris as the HMDO. Second, discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that one's done. The next one is resident to hire full-time secretary for the highway superintendent. All right, want to talk about, Caitlin Bronx?
I don't really like discussing personalities, and I think she's the most qualified out of all the people that we interviewed. She just graduated college with her degree in business, and she took all the courses for Microsoft and Excel and that. I've been creating in the last 5-6 weeks here, I've been wearing both hats, creating new spreadsheets for PTO tracking. That's what I did when I was CEO of the 2 tech companies, was all numbers and spreadsheets and bowling charts. And I'm trying to make things a little bit more conducive instead of just depending on ADP and just a weak paper trail. So I shared them with Tamara too in your office. I don't know if you saw them.
I did.
But I think that they worked really well. The men all liked them. I gave them copies to show them what I was doing, and they were very pleased.
I know that Wendy's very pleased with, new secretary.
This one's gonna be trained away and I want things done, so.
I will say it's no double pay.
Mike, is this new hire from Hurley resident? She a Hurley resident?
No, she's Sargent's resident.
Any further questions here? Okay, I make a motion to accept, Caitlin Bronx as the new highway secretary. By the way, this is, asking me to do that. She may not have experience with that in the past, though, even though that, she was under our township, that's what's the highway. We've always deferred to the superintendent of highways. They're the person that was, I know that, Clyde Russell was there. He chose, Rita. I know that when, you were first hired there, you chose, your
Well, Rita stayed on until she retired, because she became part of the union like Clyde, when there was
I'm just saying though, like, in all cases,
I think it's a special person to be a highway department secretary. And, you gotta reel the guys in, but you also have to have somebody there that can handle, when they're out on a storm for 32 hours. Then you get cantankerous, or if there's an issue with a paycheck or an issue with, an HRA or an SSA account, or, any of that stuff.
all
So
her hours did.
6:30 to 3 in the winter and 6:30, same with the union.
Okay. All right, again,
Their first order is to read the booklet on the new phone system we got. I haven't gotten through it yet.
I make a motion to accept Caitlin Bronx.
She'll be working in the office, right?
Yes.
This is not a remote.
No.
I'll second.
Any more further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Accepted.
I just want to say one thing though on that question. My former secretary was a fabulous secretary when she had her first son. She brought little Royce into the office. We all fell in love with him. That boy loves us all. He loves equipment. He's in with his dad this weekend, pushing trees over and having fun. I think that the town has to be family friendly. And I believe that any business needs it. When I was regional manager for Life Saver, and I had 10 states, and I had 10 regional offices with state directors and numerous town, company offices, I was very pro family oriented. And if somebody can still get their job done and have that infant controlled in office parameters, we'll go for it. And I think that, this day and age, we got to open up a little bit and because child care, if the show's still on, she would have been paying more for child care than she was making with the town. So, I'm glad that she made the decision to stay home and teach her kids, that I think kids need their moms those first few years. And, I applaud her for what she's doing. I saw her today walking, and Isabella is the happiest little baby. That girl, I can get that girl to smile, so I don't know if I'm ugly or I look like I don't know what, but I get her to smile every time I see her. She's always laughing and giggling.
But the only way you make it smile.
Maybe it's just because I'm ugly. I don't know.
All right, the next, one here is, John.
You gotta vote.
They did. They did.
No, they didn't.
Oh, you didn't vote? I'm sorry.
I swear they did.
Any further discussion?
They did, they voted.
They did not vote.
They voted.
On the second vote?
I swear they voted.
They voted.
Everybody said aye and Mike said yes. Swear to God.
This is the purchase of the John Deere. Now the John Deere is going to cost $174,000.
Huh?
This is new.
Oh, yeah, it's getting built. It's gonna take 90 days to deliver. We'll build it to our specifications and deliver it.
This is the value of the truck. You have to be able to. I think it's already fine, right? One more. Okay, that's the, that's it. All right, so the, it's $174,087.31. It will come out of.
Did you see the resolution? It comes out of,
3H.
no, the funding comes out of three, because it gets transferred to, what do I have, it, D 5130.2?
Yes.
It's up on the screen. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Because you said everything's gonna come out, and that's the equipment line. I don't know if that's the one we've been using, but that's, so the funding will go from 3H to 5130.2, and then, so I got your system, I'm learning it.
Right now, just to let people know that in the capital, we just have a 3H fund, we have a total of $1,754,151.07 in there, of which $20,000 is sold for the 4 trucks. So we have something like that, 1.5 million. We take it from. You gonna be nice to this truck when we get it?
So,
You gonna play nice with it?
I doubt it.
we're getting a lot of good work done. I'll tell you, the towns surrounding us are envious of our crew and the work that we get done. Nobody else does the drainage projects like we do. And every time we take on a drainage project, people complain, how do you know we're saving this much money? But right out of the gate, we're saving 50% or more. I mean, the laborer gets $84 standing on a shovel. And that's why when you go back into negotiations, got a really good crew.
Okay. Any further questions to ask Michael about this? I make a motion to accept the resolution to authorize the purchase of a John Deere 410P Peter backhoe loader. Do I have a second? Second by Griff. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. I think that's it, Michael. There's other ones.
Well, listen, I just want to let you know, there's been a reappointment Michelle as my deputy.
That could be next.
We don't have a resolution for that. That's just my appointment. I'm just letting you know that we're going to put it back on. She knows all the paperwork that has to be done in my absence. If I go out the door and get hit by the fire truck, she can step right in and wouldn't miss a beat. So I think.
You see, the thing is also, you don't need to have a resolution or anything like that,
you
because she's still, deputy.
She was always the deputy, but she forgot to sign a book of votes.
Yep.
She had 30 days to do it. And so I'm just reappointing her. She's got to come down and sign the book. I'll have it on the desk. I told her she better get down there tomorrow and sign it, not forget.
All right.
I thank you guys for getting me out here. I'm gonna go down and Field Pig Road now and take care of that tree.
Thank you. Okay, supervisor report. Let me just start with, I have some things here first. First of all, I just want to say something, that we received a $9,000 Greenway grant. This grant is actually 3 years old, 4 years old. And what this was, it's a $20,000 grant and a $10,000 matching grant, and this dealt with the comprehensive plan. So the previous administration applied for this grant, got the grant going through, however, never fulfilled the end of it. Never submitted the bills and so forth, so we never got the money. Through the persistence of Tony Bonavist, the town grant writer here, he persisted, contacted MPB, contacted Hudson Valley Greenway, got everything done. We just received a check for $9,000.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Tony. And the thing is, the matching was $10,000. However, since we did not implement the comp plan then, we only got 9,000. That was the agreement there. So we had $9,000 that was actually sitting there for 4 years until Tony, went after it. Don't forget.
The use of is what? The use of the grant?
It was for the comp plan, comprehensive plan.
Specifically for the comp plan, so when, as we,
Right, no, it was back in 2022. They applied for the grant, offered there, and it was a 10,000 grant, 10,000 matching more or less. And,
we don't have any more bills for that one.
it's all done. It's all paid off.
So basically,
We just-
we're paying ourselves back.
Right, we paid the
So
20,000.
that sits in what?
Now we just got it in.
Savings account.
It's in-
Sitting in the savings account.
No, I know, but it should be going to. what
It's just under a grant. I just put it under state funding grant. We can do whatever we want with it, but I had to attach it to where it came from.
I think has to go back into the comprehensive beach grant.
It could,
Yeah,
that's perfect.
And then you guys can allocate if you want to, when we're all done with our comp review,
That sounds
then we
great.
can take that money and put it where you want.
Sounds good. I thought the comp review was done, so that's,
August.
okay, sounds good.
well, also, just to let you know, there's a program called Support for the Hometown Heroes banner. John Perry's gonna be looking into that. This is a county program going through. There's money involved in case we need to, organize these things. So John's our lead person on that, and you'll be in contact with the.
Yeah, Mark, I hope I'm saying this right,
Capacioli.
Caspioli. The town is added to the list, and yes, I'm the point of contact, and they're gonna be reaching out in a couple of weeks.
Okay. All right. Next thing is, we have a disclosure statement here. You got this is a, man on, trying to, package.
Oh.
You know what? Right. And what this is basically, planning board, the zoning board, the town board, the ethics committee, I believe, are the only ones that need to, fill out a disclosure form, annual disclosure form. And so, we have, majority of the people have already been done, filled out a report, some haven't. So this is a letter that Joe, the chairperson of the ethics committee, wrote up to send out to the members of those committees to get the report in. And there's consequences here more or less, because they don't fill it out. So I just need approval from the town board that we can send this out.
In the motion or just with?
Just approval, and that's a motion or just an approval to send this out.
I'm good with it.
So I'll let Joe Casio know. All right, to get this thing going. Other thing coming through here, it's Hudson Valley Water Company has put a surcharge, $37.50 surcharge added to all the residents of all the 5 districts in the county. The 5 districts include Rosendale, High Falls, includes 2 districts in Hurley, includes Boyceville District, and includes Mount Marion District. They added a surcharge of $37.50, and that's used for specifically to upgrade the system, to infrastructure, repairs, and so forth. What happened was back in 2010, the Public Service Commission allowed Hudson Valley Water Company to have this surcharge added for repairs, more or less. Since I've been dealing with the Hudson Valley Water Company for about the past 8 years, nothing has been done. They have raised their rates, saying they need to raise the rates, repair the system. They have not repaired the system. They said they are raising their rates to put a generator in. They have not done that at all. And now, using the Public Service Commission as a basis, they're now collecting an escrow of $37.50 additionally for all of the 400 customers through it. My opinion, this is disgusting. The rates have been raised continually because of repairs. There's no need for $37.50. They're using a 2010 Public Service Commission escrow that was planned there, more or less. This, I had a meeting with Ben Metzger, who can actually formally oppose this. Going through it. This is it's just outrageous, in my opinion, that he does nothing at all with this thing, and basically he's charging for the repairs. And I can almost guarantee it that the money he's collecting right now will not go there in that sense. He has done following things happened in certain places in Hurley, but mostly in Mount Marion, where people send in their checks, their payments, and so forth. He doesn't cash for 2 or 3 months. In the middle, meanwhile, he's sending out cutoff notices to these people going through. Also complaints to the Public Service Commission, also complaints to Jen Metzger. So we have a meeting sometime next week to discuss this whole thing on the.
We've been meeting with you and all the other staff.
Oh, it's me. And, Jen Metzger and, Paul.
Don't you, well, it's the Franco involved?
I will talk to Jim Franco and so forth.
So, I mean, if it's sits in an escrow, then there has to be legal documentation establishing what the escrow can be used for, and he can't just use it, so that money should still be in escrow.
Okay, back in 2010, when it was first established, they were charging $617 in escrow. And when the escrow gets down to a certain level, they can we charge that.
So they are using one of the escrow.
They are using something, we don't know. Somebody said.
He has to show their documents,
Right.
what he's doing.
That's what we got, that's what we're going after. We want to see exactly, that 617 is collected for like 16 years. Where's the money? Like, what has it been done for? That's what we're gonna ask them for. Because, asking that this on 3750.
Stopping the police.
Okay. Other thing also, the demolition on 84 Cedar, right on the corner, is complete. Place is vacant. The demolition of 329 Old Route 209 has been completed also. It was done. The cost for the demolition of 84 Cedar is $37,500, which the town has paid. The demolition, cost for 329 Old, Route 209 is $42,000, which the town has paid. We have now submitted to our assessor to contact real property tax and now put a lien on those properties there, more or less. One of the properties has already been foreclosed. So right away, whenever the bidding goes out, the starting bid for that property will be whatever we have put in there, more or less. All right, so, the only issue we have with this thing is that it might take a while before we get reimbursed.
I want to talk to Jen about that, because she hasn't done any auctions in about 3 years.
Right. I know that one of them has to be basically a, foreclosed. One of the properties foreclosed.
But if she doesn't put the auction,
Yeah, put the
auctions up for.
Also, we got an EV charger. We have a new class 2 EV charger that replaces our first class EV charger. The second class EV charger can now charge a vehicle in 4 hours. The first EV charger can do it in 11 hours. All right, there's actually a third class which can do it in about 45 minutes. That's a lot more money to come through with. So anyway, we put out to bid the old EV charger, and the bid that came back was $41. I think we're going to keep it. Bite the bullets.
Maybe
Might
someone
find
wants it
another-
for their
might find another
garage.
spot in the town you want to put that.
I don't think, but here's the thing, 11 hours.
Overnight. Well,
11 hours, you
someone
gotta do
that-
it. It takes that long. All right. You also have, I'm trying to do, Wendy has supplied the monthly financials. Right, Julia?
Mike just mentioned the AFR is complete. Mentioned the AFR is complete.
The, yes, the AFR, those been completed. This is the annual financial review. It was due on March 31st.
Very nice.
We got it
Very
done.
nice.
Great.
Thank you, Wendy. It was approved up first.
That's my report here going through it. One of the things that we're having right now also is the Hurley Heritage Community Center. We have a starting date for rehabbing it. It's sometime in mid-May. We have a contract and we have the prices and everything being done. The benefactor that we're getting from is Rockefeller Philanthropy. It's paying for the entire cost of it. All right. The entire cost of the rehab is $1.4 million. A lot cheaper to burn it down and start all over again. We can't do that. This happens to be in a historic district, more or less. And it's just amazing that it costs that much money to rehab something when it costs a lot less to
To
just
build
build
something
again.
nice for a million.
Yeah. Harold Castellano is the project manager of this thing. He has all the, work. Can you show, not this one, the color one.
You want the color one? Yep.
This is it. This is the, plan for this thing. Harold, do you want to? go through this thing?
Is that online somewhere?
It will be online tomorrow. Yes.
Everything will be, all of this will be online tomorrow. We just need to get approval from the board that this is fine. we're not gonna pass the contract today.
That's true.
This is for discussion.
This is the old library.
Excuse me, my name is Harold Castellano.
Yep,
I'm
yeah.
the store
I was like,
officer.
where-
I'm also the project manager
No
for the town. So what we're talking about obviously is 44 Main Street. I can go through the site plan, then we can go through a couple other plans, and answer any questions anybody might have. Like such a start date, we're hoping for mid-May, we're thinking August, that's a completion date.
August?
End of August. That's, it's perfect world, right? So the way we have to start is we have a 10-day hold because we have abatement issues. So as soon as the contract is written, as soon as it gets out, contractor calls the abatement company, it's a 10-day wait, that's the New York State, and then the abatement starts to be big now. If we're looking at that, this is the site plan, and it's really gonna change the site. I'm gonna walk over there.
You wanna bring the mic with you?
You can just,
Everybody not hearing?
Well, we want to record it though.
yeah, just take it off the stand. Yep.
All right, So the building right now, excuse me, it's 2 stories, about 660 square feet, so about 1320. Its entirety. The addition we're putting on is a 2-story addition also, 300 per, so it's a 600 square foot addition. The lower part of the addition will have a handicap restroom. It will have a handicap lift, which is just a lower course elevator, if you will. It will also have handicap accessible kitchen and kitchenette. Upstairs, we're just in the lobby, getting into the 2 offices that will be upstairs. Downstairs is more of a meeting area, or community center, whatever. So we're going to be changing it drastically, the site of it. So in the beginning, you had this asphalt front, parking area. That's not going to be green. We're going to have grass and we're going to plant over the middle. You see on the top, we're going to have a coming in lane and then a going out lane, parking back here.
That's right. The trees.
So as we're putting the extension on, and we're using the new bathroom, the kitchen, the septic system has to be rebuilt. So the new septic is going back here, and then the leach field is going to go out into the grassy area all the way in the back and find the parking. So there is a neighbor there. I tried to get to them yesterday. I reached out to some of the neighbors, let them know what we're doing, how we're doing it, and where we're doing it. So during the construction here, coming in, there is a large tree.
I'm sorry, you made one attempt to reach me yesterday? Is that one of the schoolhouses?
Yeah, I was in the area yesterday, so I went around to the home.
Thank
So I'm gonna be more than happy to meet with you after or whatever you'd like to do.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
So it's-
So again, we're coming in and going out. All this green will be seeded. All right, this is seed. This is plantings. It'll just probably be a low ground cover. We believe.
Hey,
the
Harold,
plants-
can you do me a favor? Pick up your iPad, put it over there. You're gonna step on it.
All right, so, the purple in the front on the road, just a Belgian block kind of distinction where the road ends and the property begins. It's a nice touch, very inexpensive, but it's very nice investment to do.
so it's the yellow.
If you go down, wait, does anybody have any questions on this drawing right here? This colorful, messy drawing?
So all that yellow is pavement?
All this yellow is pavement, yeah.
So,
There's an in and out lane, and then the,
so where is that huge elm tree and what might happen
Black
to it?
walnut tree.
the black
The
walnut,
walnut, the black walnut.
approximately here. It has to come down. It is, yeah, I don't want to confuse that with the sun.
So off on.
But that's where the paving's going.
I just said something to it, that's not definite yet.
That's not, okay.
It's not definite yet. We have, in talks with the library about perhaps doing a shared driveway coming through there. So, we can actually, see what goes on. Again, this is just preliminary discussions going through there. We're trying to do something with all that. I know the library has reached out to me and so forth, and, they are very thrilled with this thing, and I think Shannon?
Yep.
Shannon has reached, and so like I called you before, to ask about, can we do something with the shared driveway, or we can actually have a driveway on one side away from the tree
Mhm.
and exit out through the library parking lot onto Schoolhouse Lane.
That might be good.
There wasn't any damage to the house or the windows or
Good.
anything, because I.
Black
they're pretty. Windows going from the-
Black light have to be very toxic.
Yes, very toxic.
It's very far from the doors.
The shells,
Yeah.
put it this way, if you eat, the animal eats those, the nuts, I mean, it's very toxic. I mean, I happen to work, in my class, in SIP, we play with black nuts, and we wear gloves and everything, to make sure. It is very toxic. It's still very pretty though. Well, that's a thing we're gonna have to discuss also.
Well, if that'll be a change in site plan. And other way to start. We can take the tree. That would be-
I have a question. The septic in the back of my home, is that, I can't see from here. but-
Oh, excuse me, you can bring that.
I am,
Oh, okay.
yeah, my dad lived in that house, so it's very. important.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thanks. So the septic is, and from what I see here, is it
So it
black?
is
top
something
over
that's-
it?
No, well, this is the back area. What you don't see is that lawn in that door. So
Okay.
we're not paving that lawn, but there will be some fill coming in because of the grade. And then we can see, it's only going to be the leach with this. In the grass. Septic will be under the pavement.
Where's the septic now?
Right, septic now is approximately right here. Let me right off the small bathroom.
Mhm, mhm.
And there's absolutely no way that. you can handle. The septic tank, yes, will be underneath here, with the cap. And then the leach field will be. Leach field.
Behind my home.
See, one of the things I think Harold had to explain also, that the front of the building, the door there is not ADA compliant. All right, the Hurley Preservation Committee does not want us to change the door. So we have to change the entrance, and the entrance has to be in the back then. Because the back will have the ADA compliance coming back there. So therefore, we have to move the parking lot from the front of the building to the back of the building to allow access for handicapped people to go that way. All right, so that's why we have to do that.
Yeah, I understand, but it doesn't mean that we can't do, we can figure that in and out.
We were told by the Hurley Preservation Committee, and so this is an historical site. This whole area here.
It's not true, I think the tree is from too.
Trees, yeah.
We're not, listen, we are right now, I spoke to you before.
You can have questions. There's a comment period at the end of the
Oh.
meeting.
Oh,
So right now, this is just a presentation, so really, you should complete the presentation.
Yeah.
And then if you have comments you want to make, you can make them at the end of the meeting, when the next comment period is.
Is there any questions on this drawing? So I'm just gonna go to a couple of other drawings and then we can open it up for comments and,
How do I get a copy of that?
It'll be on the website tomorrow. I'll put it on the website tomorrow morning.
The whole thing.
I'll put the whole packet up and the drawing will be included. Or if you want to give me your email address before you leave, I can always send it to you separate too. Sure.
once you digest them, we'd like to talk about it.
We're gonna talk about, yeah.
Okay, so if there's no more questions on this, we'll talk a little bit about, this is an existing well here, we're gonna put 2 bollards in front since it's the exit. And again, we're gonna try and, greenify, if you will, everything, and then some drainage. So we go to the one with the, yeah, just move that a little bit.
Down
No,
up to where we were. That one?
So since there's no sight lighting on the site at all, like there's no poles with lights. So what we're gonna do is, bollards, red bollards. And everywhere you see these red dots will be those bollards and they're solar, so we'll save on a little bit of a light trick, and we don't have all that trenching to do, so that's gonna be the site lighting. Up in front, you can see coming in, the front of the building, or back here, because that's, you know, the big, area. Oh, and here you can see, you can see that septic, the leach field.
No area lights then in the parking lot?
No, there isn't now.
No, it's all black sky, regulated.
Well, there's one in the library next door that points to.
That's there, I don't, but with reference to this diagram, there'll just be ballots.
No, nothing shining in
Bedroom
people's homes or
windows.
anything like that.
It's mine.
That's all I'm just drawing, really. I just wanted to show how we were gonna light the area in the evenings and the Christmas. So, Mike already told you the cost. We do have some abatement issues. We're expecting the project to go 3 months. We have to go to the fucking schedule, and Mike, if you're talking about some changes, we can talk about that. Are there any questions about anything that I said or I did?
Let me just clarify a little bit too. The downstairs will be a community center, welcome center. All right, it will be, you know, our historian will be on the second floor, the office there. The recreation commission, the director will have an office up there also, going through there. You know, we're gonna be in conjunction with the Hurley Heritage Society when they start doing their tours and their walks and so forth. We'll be involved with that also, going through it. And again, the community center is open to any type of resident of town of Hurley. The library will be holding the keys and be holding also the calendar. So if you need to go there and do that, you just contact the library, set up. And I know that for you, Shannon, you like the idea of having a garden club meet there, to having storytelling and so forth going through there. You know, so this is something that we're gonna be pushing all that.
As well as town committee
Right.
discussion.
Right. There are certain
We're falling out
committees.
of our town
Yes.
hall.
There are certain committees like the planning board and zoning board and the town board has to meet at town hall. Things like the ethics committee, things like conference review committee, and the housing advisory committee, things like conservation committee, they can meet there.
Parking spots?
Do
It's
that.
8.
8.
Right now, there's 8 parking spots in the front, leaves that in the back.
Right now, we get a lot of parking on the side of the library, right? So that's an entrance or an exit.
We have to discuss that with them.
I'm sorry?
We have to discuss that with the parking, with the
Yeah, we're
library.
limited
So
for parking now. It's tough to park there. I have people parking in my driveway all the time during events. It's rough, even getting in and out of that one.
Safety violation because of the traffic that's on there too. Double park.
Alongside the road.
Alongside the road.
Well, they can't be
It turns into one.
You're referring to schoolhouse? Referring to schoolhouse?
Correct.
Yeah, if you see someone illegally parked on the road, you can contact the sheriff department. The city of Town of Hurley does not have its own law enforcement department. So you'd have to notify the sheriff's department or the state police, and then they can enforce those.
Right. And there is no parking in town roads, in town property.
There's usually no parking sign, but not right in front of my home. They're no longer there alongside the road. They're no longer there. You may want to. That's a problem.
So you don't have parking, you have no parking?
There's one right in front of the house. And no, I think someone, I don't know if it was an accident or it was taken down somehow, but there's no parking system.
No parking
And-
sign.
Yeah,
I will contact Mike Schultes.
thank
We
you.
order some new parking signs for Schoolhouse Lane. You notice that we lowered the speed limit, right?
Oh, it's funny. It says 20 miles and then limited sight distance 15.
Come on.
He's supposed to go 50.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Just a quick question. I'm just trying to understand, I was thinking behind this. So, you have a 100-year-old living tree. It's majestic, one of the most beautiful trees in this entire area. Walk by, except Jim Decker's tree. And then on the other side of the building is a a well that's supposed to be stored with a piece of concrete on it and stone. Why is that more important than that living tree, which provides out, you know, the most, how much
Shade and
the trees
habitat.
doing for the environment, beautifying this area, providing shade for the people using the yard. I mean, you can have a big hole in the sky. But
Yeah,
why is one?
But here's the thing, it's not said.
Okay, but I'm telling you how I'm seeing. it.
Yeah.
If that's okay, maybe I would do these things, thing that I feel is wrong here, but, you know, I'm not familiar with the set of formality of these kinds of meetings. But I'm just asking, why would something like that's in the ground that nobody's even aware of? This historic thing that can't be moved, or driveway can't be on that side, when you want to take down this thing, this tree that is just
Two days on one side.
amazing.
So historic preservation laws, which is what they're referring to as to why certain things are done, like they don't do this at the front. That applies to structures. It doesn't apply to living things, to the trees, to the grass. There are certain limitations, but our preservation law doesn't apply to trees. The town, that can be something that, you know, you can talk to members of different committees. There are other municipalities that do have tree ordinances that do limit, you know, like the trees, older growth trees from being cut down, or requiring replacement for trees when they are shut down. Zero carbon footprint aspect. But that is not something that we currently have in our code. We do have a preservation statute that protects the historic structure. But
Being this is an explored area, the landscape itself.
that's not how the
I know,
statute is.
I'm asking that maybe that could be something to be reconsidered, because if we're not interested in the road, we're interested in preserving as much they can preserve rather than tear down. You know, bulldoze the world over. Okay,
So I think Mike said that we are in discussion to try to save it.
okay.
You have to change the way you're coming in, the way you're going after it.
Yeah, like,
You're looking at.
I'm saying about why is that? I was wanting to know, I think you can explain it well, thank you very much. But it's so broad.
Just in count.
I think that's the thing.
well, the thing is, though, like, you and I had a discussion yesterday, and I understand what you're trying to say. And, you know, I've actually pushed to go further and looked at other possibilities.
I really appreciate it. Just trying to understand, thinking about my decision.
I understand.
Just speaking from the library, we also experienced a lot of people who realize they're parking appropriate on our lawn, or double park who aren't utilizing the library also. So I am a little concerned about a shared driveway, or if perhaps like a traffic study or something to be done to make sure that you know, we have that ingress egress, but notoriously, you know, we have.
If Dunkin' Donuts can have an egress, look at that.
People go, you know, exit and come through the wrong way. So, yeah, if we were sharing a driveway, I think we would, maybe we would have some, you know, discussions about how to do that effectively for safety. And there was just a school accident right outside of the library just last week, the week ago today. And right, the whole parking lot was just consuming the road. I'm sure it won't be probably also go affected. So, right, making sure that we're doing things safely and thought out.
I have one more question. The library, for how many years has had the front parking lot? I understand you need to have ADA accessible, and there's no way to make that front into ADA accessible.
I mean, we could do something else. That's nothing. Leave it the way it is. You know, I don't know if that could, I know that's not what we like.
What, to not do anything?
Not to
with the
do anything
library
at all.
Oh, no, it should be, it should be.
Right,
No, I
right.
know. It's not the use of it. I just think that there's.
We,
Yeah,
like I said to you before, we discussed it.
No, I support all these efforts. I think it's great. It should be big. It should be big.
Any other questions to ask, Harold?
I can like to connect with you. at
Yes,
another point.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Any questions here from town board?
Thank you.
Thank you, Harold. By the way, I just want to introduce Debbie Dougherty, councilperson, and Greg Simpson. As another council. All right. Next thing is presentation. And this is Greg, I told our planning board chair.
Okay, so this is the next installment of our zoning code update. So this presentation is going to be about changes to visual assessments. Okay. Just by way of background, I'm Greg Tetrell, I'm chair of the planning board, and was tasked by the town board to help shepherd through a number of zoning code changes that have been circulating around town for years, actually. So this is part of that. Since there's many components, we're going to be talking about visual assessment. Next slide. Just by way of background, we're not going to spend too much time on many of these slides, but the presentation is going to be available for all to refer to. The basic idea here is that visual assessment is all about preservation of scenic views. Scenic views is the actual resource within the town of Hurley. These are areas like the vistas of Ohio Mountain, Tonchi Mountain. This is overlooking the Hurley Flats and the Hurley Ridge escarpment behind the Hurley Flats. So these are areas that have real visual importance. They define the character of the town, and they're just the things that if you're talking to your community members, say, what's the favorite feature of Hurley? It's going to be one of these. Next slide. So in terms of the scenic view areas that we're talking about, what we're really trying to do with visual assessment is translate this goal of preserving scenic views into zoning. And how do we create a process to do that? It's both preserves the things that the community wants, but also protects and recognizes the rights of property owners. So what we're looking at here are really the four main areas that are of concern in terms of scenic views. Hurley Flats we just talked about, Hurley Ridge, Tonchi, Ohio, and the Ashoka Reservoir South. The reason why that's selected is because that's where homes are. The rest of the border around the Ashoka Reservoir is entirely owned by New York City. So New York City has the rights to that, but they're not going to ever develop it. So there's no real reason to focus solely on that, but you will see that consideration is made. Next slide. So foundation for visual assessment. Believe it or not, our 2006 comprehensive plan, which is still the current plan, actually spells out the idea of the scenic overlay district. That's the way to preserve the scenic views. The community survey that was done in 2024 also had a point question about it, and the community response was overwhelming, 84%. And within our local town code, we did have a visual assessment already in there for the airport district that also promotes that. So this is a lot of foundation for it. Next slide. However, given what we have today, there are issues. The first is that all development in the A4 zoning district requires visual assessment. Well, that seems like what it's doing is it's forcing, literally anything, which A4 is the biggest district we have. All the development there needs to be forced through the planning board. Right, so that's one. The second is that the requirements for going through visual assessment are costly to applicants. They include things like, defining the topography, the soil conditions, the coverage, stormwater management, as well as things like viewshed analysis and so forth. It's require a lot of professionals to put together a lot of studies and provide the planning board a lot of work, which then needs to consume all that information and come up with an assessment. The next problem is that scenic view areas as defined in our code are ambiguous. We have terms like highest elevations, Bohea or Tashi. What does that mean? Land surrounding the Sugar Reservoir. Well, how far are we talking, just where it touches, or, is it a mile back? I mean, it's hard to say. Hurley Flats, we don't think we know what that is, but if I told you, draw a line for it, you would get really precise answers. If the person would say the Hurley Town Board on one side, but where is it exactly on the other side, the south side? Start with the Hurley Flats. Well, one, you have to find the start at. Two, how far up, how far back? So those are issues. The visual impact standards, which are defined in our visual assessment code, are subjective and full compliance. So we have things like setback from edge of escarpment. That's a guideline for how to site a particular structure. Colors. Okay, so we all have a sense of what that might mean, but you can see how this becomes very subjective. So the idea here is to, as much as possible, put some science behind here and come up with criteria that are easy for the planning board to assess on, but more importantly, for professionals that are being hired by applicants, so that they know ahead of time what's going to be accepted. This, saves a ton of time and effort for both sides. And the last thing is that the current code allows the planning board to disapprove of the site plan and visual assessment. The problem here is that it conflicts with the owner's uses that are permitted by right. So, for A4, you are permitted by right to build a single family bus. And now we're saying that we're going to deny you the right to those two are in conflict. Okay. So first step in solving this problem is coming up with next slide. So what is this? This is a way to unambiguously define the areas in the district that require the assessment. It is, in fact, a map. And it's added to the town zoning plan. It will be constructed from GIS mapping data, and it's something that we would share and exchange with Ulster County, so that it will become part of basically the GIS mapping data that Ulster County provides to the state and provides back to us. The benefits are that it informs landowners of visual system requirements right up front before they ever come in for building permits, before any of that. The professionals that are hired by applicants, it eliminates unnecessary visual assessment determinations, saves the ZEC lots of time, and saves the applicant lots of time and money. Next one. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but basically the way to figure out where the lines are for visual assessment all the way is shed analysis, where we use science to go and figure out from a particular certain point, what can I see? And what's the height of the structure at a particular point in the distance that I can see? So for instance, really, looking at things that are not at surface level, but let's say 25, 30 feet up, which is the height of the house. So that gives you the ability of determining if you can see a house and how much of it you can see. There's also using delineation by definition. So for instance, an example is Hurley Flats. We have a sample definition of what that might look like. So next slide. So what we did, that was specifically all the elevation data, and we built an entire viewshed model for the map. So we actually know from observer points that are well defined on the maps what can be seen and from where. Next slide. So we also where all the steep slopes are within the town. So these are areas where the slope of particular land is greater than 50. Next slide. And we combine all that into a layer that gets added to the zoning map that you see as these green hatched areas. That is the overlay. So what it does is it fully captures both the definitions, so for Hurley Flats and so forth. We'll look at the other areas in a minute. But the idea being that if it's so well defined, there's no mystery as to what lots are in visual assessment areas and which ones aren't. And we're defining two sites.
And are we increasing our A4?
So the A4 district is not changing at all.
We're not increasing any?
No. So creating an additional overlay over just the A4 district.
Okay.
So if I were to remove the hatch marks, you'd see A4 as it is there. Yeah.
The overlay doesn't go with any other districts, just the A4.
Correct. So there was some discussion. There's exactly one area that's an A2.5 that ended up shed, and that is the area
In the corner.
So since that area already has fairly small lots, there's really real opportunity for further subdivision. It made more sense to try and have visual assessment overlays suddenly applied to essentially 6 lots. Okay, so in a 2.5, there's only 6 lots that are in the viewshed. And it didn't make sense to make an exception for that. So instead, we simply allow the visual assessment overlay to only apply to District 4. Okay, next slide. So we're going to kind of zip through this, but it gives you an idea. So this is the view shed. If you were on the rail trail on the north side of the reservoir, looking south, this is what you can see. Next slide. These are the steep slopes that are there. Next slide. And this is the resulting overlay. Next slide. And here we are with the Hurley Ridge, Hurley Flats. So this is just showing you the red dots are the observer points that are used in computational model. And effectively the coloring shows you how many observers can see a particular point. What is interesting is how far back you can actually see. So from 209, you can actually see 1.5 miles into the Hurley Ridge at points. That's so you can see here we have, steep slopes analysis there, and it's not surprising that we have steep slopes and elevation here in the view shed. Next slide. And converted into overlay, and that's what this is. Right. There is an interesting feature though that you see in the next valley there that is a tributary to the English Creek that cannot be seen. Okay, next slide. Next slide. All right, so how does this all net out? It becomes part of official zoning map of the town. And so you have a sense of how this is moving. What we got is the 1991, all the way there to the left. The current map that Ulster County before us a year or two ago. Proposed map that is essentially a product of the natural resources. So a few things that you should know is that our current zoning map has quite a number of errors in it. The biggest one is that insets that are featured on that actually have transparency that are set correctly. So you're seeing features that are, if you can remove the insets, you see water features and so forth, and then you put the inset on, you're still seeing the same water features. So for instance, right over here, there's a piece of water here. There's no piece of water that corresponds to that. So these are just subtle things that, you know, if you were an average resident of the community, you could notice, but the building department is annoying. All right, so a couple of things that you might notice is that there are no more insets. The reason is that with the advent of computers and the fact that we can create maps much higher resolution, there's no need for that. You simply zoom in. So it really cleans up the map, and yeah. So this is what's first being proposed for next slide. Next slide. Okay, goals for the update. I think we covered most of these. The keys here that we just went through is being able to precisely define the lots that require visual assessment, precisely define the standards for mitigating initial impacts. There's some loopholes that need to be closed, and you want to replace within the code this idea of disapproving a plan with approved conditions. Next slide. So what is the process now? The proposed process now going to look like? So what we now have is the CEO department gets an application, and they go to the zoning map and determine if the lot intersects with visual system overlay. If it's not, you can go straight to issuing the building permit, so we all other criteria are satisfied. If it is, then you follow the process, planning board. So in a lot of cases, this is going to save a lot of time. Next slide. So some highlights from the proposed visual assessment update. We're going to eliminate those safety areas. So, the CEO determination, and then if there is an intersection, we refer to the planning board. To reduce the floor in section to 144 square feet. That's currently 1,000 square feet. The issue here is that when I looked at a lot of other areas, in particular, that have created code and had lots of issues with the code protect scenic views, the high minimum there was creating an opportunity for developers to do construction that maximized the visual impact while staying under the minimum. So you can think of 1,000 square feet, it's not that big. However, if you are organizing it in a way to maximize the views from that structure, you actually maximize the visual impact at the same time. So 1,000 square feet, well, that could be 50 feet by 20 feet. Where the 50-foot section is now spread out in the view shed. That's as big as a 3,000 square foot house. So that's the 144 comes from the by right accessory structure. So that's why that's the one. Again, these are areas that, you know, as the board gets to decide what the is. However, these discussions were from learnings from other municipalities as well as our former CEO and coming up with the plan. Planning board determinations. So the new determinations are going to be approved as unobservable. So even if a home is in the view shed, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is observable. We can make it, the planning board can make a determination that, distance is, 1.6 miles away and can only be seen by one observer, one area with its own eye. It's not really observable at all. They just make a determination that it's not, just like it's unobservable. We can approve as mitigated, meaning that the applicant themselves have produced materials and whatnot to satisfy the standards and criteria such that any visual impact is mitigated as much as possible. We can request additional data, request modification, and then finally, conditional approval. Those are the only options. So if in fact the plan looks problematic, what the planning board is then doing is not saying no, it's saying yes, but you have to observe these conditions. We also precisely define exterior color standards, and I have to give credit to the planning board member against Claire for this. He came up with the concept of reflected value of exterior paint colors and surface colors. And finally, precisely defining setbacks for steep slopes. So the new proposed code actually puts a forward line in there to define where the steep slope is, so that the setback can be precisely measured. That's all. Now, this is the code. I'm not going to read it for you, but I encourage you to do so.
I'm just gonna ask the same question I think John already asked, just to clarify in my head. We didn't change any of the zone, right? We didn't change any of the zone.
Strictly important.
That's what.
But to that, just that as we start developing and really diagnosing everything, coming to a conclusion where potentially enhancing development, I would like to at least look at the zoning to potentially specifically for water use, land consumption, that we maybe think about having more R4, some more districts of R tenants for like high rises, but like in reference to less development based on the fact that we are opening up the basis for people to come in and potentially have easier process of development.
Sure.
So that would just be something that I would request.
So there are proposals going around now. Determined that they require an updated comprehensive plan. Well supported.
I know you did the NRI, so I know you have a lot of backing. So I know we have things that we can do to potentially utilize our resources to adjust the zones. I appreciate everything you do.
Yeah, I just have a question on slide 6 when you started, you talked about, moderately protected.
You can go back to that.
Slide 7. No. Go back. You said moderately protected, and I didn't understand what that meant.
Oh, it's right here. Yeah. Yep.
You should be at least moderately protected.
Okay, so that's just the construction question. If you go to the very last slide, I actually put a slide for that. So you can see what exactly the question was and the response.
Moderate involvement through.
So the idea being that you can be really passionate about it, or you can be in favor of it.
But between the two, the moderate and the active.
So you add the two together, and that gets 4%.
If not, active is the biggest.
Any questions from, audience? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, we're actually getting closer to the finish line, so you gotta start thinking next steps in terms of get paid with that public hearing set.
Public hearing. So we'll talk, Greg, about the public hearing, when the setup and so forth.
I haven't checked this.
Okay. All right.
And I know you were thinking seeker, if I was too.
All right, next thing here is like on C now, and this is appoint the full-time municipal code officer and building inspector. And this is,
The resolution has, building inspector 2,
what is
but, in the wording, it was building inspector 1.
Says one here.
in other words, yeah. And then now therefore, third line, there should be building inspector. So,
Mm,
Oh, so.
and
that's for-
those come from the budget code of 36. Code enforcement, 36 points of budget code. I just want to say something about William Spencer. We met with him, Diana and I met with him, Samara met with him. Mike Schultz was there, and
Ken.
Ken, right. We were extremely impressed with him. And, you know, he gave us, three references. And I pulled up one of them, the acting assessor for Woodstock. He gave me a really long report. I then did my own calling. I called up 2 other people that I knew. And that one of them was the secretary for the planning board, Melissa Gray, and she gave the same long report. I then called up Bill McKenna, who was the supervisor of the town of, Woodstock, that highway. Same thing. I could swear they all listened to the same script. You know, it was just a glowing thing.
It was impressive.
And it was very impressive. We were just looking for a part-time person. And also I looked over at Diana, and she goes to me, that's a full-time guy. He's really coming through. He gave us 2 weeks' notice. He'll be joining us on the 20th of April. And, yeah, and then basically it is, he's going on training on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So, we'll be, going through, and this is basically the entire, you know, duties of my life. Which is really good. So I make a motion to accept Jim Spencer as a full-time municipal code officer, building inspector 2. All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All of us, as one say, all of us that heard him and, you know, met him, we all agree that he would be a good fit.
Great.
Nobody was.
Okay, next one is the resolution to appoint members to the Board of Assessment, the BAR, for fill vacancies, and they are Jeffrey Mann, whose term expires, September 30, 2027, and Tracy Kellogg. Back right now, they're in training. For the above.
She can sit as judge.
Say again? Sorry, what? Yes, yes.
Confirm that there is no
Yes.
potential,
No conflict.
judicial.
And this is a volunteer position.
No, they get paid $100.
Well, I mean, okay,
Basic.
right, but it's a one-time,
Once a year.
Yeah.
This is Board of Greens.
I have a question. I don't know if it's true, but, someone said that you can't have 3 town board member or 3 town employees on the grievance committee.
I never heard that.
I don't know, but we should probably just double check it.
How many which employees?
Three male,
Well, there's
three
myself,
female.
I'm the chair, and then there would be 2 more.
Yes.
what he does with business.
So I would just check. I don't know, but I mean, because, honestly, that does kind of make it uneven.
Grievance day is coming up, and we've been.
You have to do it real quick.
Yeah. What,
Greens Day is the,
It is, last Thursday of May. 28th?
28th.
I don't know. That's just what I was told.
It's the first Thursday after the last Tuesday.
Right, it's
Yeah.
Thursday.
It's the 28th.
It's still
I believe it's
there.
the 28th.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just don't want to, have it voided.
when can you check into that?
Sure. That, I'll talk to you later. Yes, we'll get it figured out.
Resolution to approve the unpaid leave for Clark Kimball. Clark Kimball's on a medical leave right now. All right, so, this is basically, any discussion on it?
But what's his?
I like it.
I was rather than does that guarantee him a job? Because
Yes.
I didn't know that we were, when we hired a full-time person. We were gonna keep a second part-time person.
We're looking for one.
We do not budget for a second person.
No, but, I mean, there's a chance that he won't be paid. And the thing is,
Yeah, I would say, if you guys want to discuss matters pertaining to a specific individual, unless you just want to vote on this, if you want to discuss it, that would be something more appropriate for an executive session.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
but we can actually vote on this thing.
Well, we can't vote on it.
That's all. We'll just add that as something to discuss in the executive session.
Justice Court order.
So Tracy's on this one. This is not all her back. Correct? It's like it's her inherited backlog.
Yes, this is all, but I know for a significant amount of years, they had been putting on the cases on the calendar that she.
Okay. She seems like,
Well, there's
It
so
is.
significant, but no, hers is. There's only less than 300 cases where.
the other one, I mean, the other one,
But that's because all the
Like
cases
94.
were being disproportionately put on one calendar.
it always has been.
Yes.
Yes. One always had one, way more than the other.
It was,
When Judge Dorn was there, it was.
It was much more.
With Relly, she,
That was one of the reasons why we were discussing potentially eliminating and just having more.
when are they up next year?
they are up, no,
4 years.
Yeah, they don't have to, go by the, even election.
biennial.
No, I know not for, but, did Parker, when the last time
I
he,
think they have another year to make them run.
But they run together.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they run together. That's not a good
So,
thing.
so not, so 2027 or 2028?
2028. 28.
It's 29.
25 is when they, Tracy got it.
Clark was 24.
27, 28, 29.
So then
Yeah, so
they're gonna
28.
run at 27 for 28.
Tracy will run in 29.
So 28 is the 40.
That the year they take over.
What are you
the year
trying
they
to do?
run.
It's the way we've drawn it.
And then-
Like, you're gonna-
Well, things like Tracy, no, Tracy
Oh,
had a few ran to fulfill.
Right, you only ran to full.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure
No,
Parker
no.
was just elected the year before that reelected. So that would have been, they'd have been in 24, or the beginning of the term that starts in 25.
You know, just so
What do you want us to vote on?
Really,
This is just passing,
It's the
approving this, unless you see something that
Yeah.
looks like
No, I
it's
just-
not.
I just said, no, I just said an observation.
Okay. All right, approve the audit. Any motion to approve the audit?
So we did, we said we don't have to vote.
you second
Yeah,
it?
you have to vote on
Yes,
it.
the
Quarter
vote.
of the audit.
For the audit reason.
Who seconds?
I make a motion to accept. Second. Gregory, seconded. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. Resolution to authorize temporary acceptance of brush at the transfer station at no charge. This goes from, April 15th to May 15th.
Is our highway department not picking it?
They are picking up also, they're picking up also. The thing is, that when this was done, we were down to, highway employees.
We're back up.
We're back on, we're gonna be back up tomorrow, so, but what Mike wants to do is he wants to see exactly, and I agree with him, that, we've been asked for, to come bring it there, and hopefully in the future, maybe not have Mike go around, do like that.
It might be all four, we spoke on it earlier.
Yeah.
There's also a few roads you can't pick
So
up.
we're moving services.
Well, in the sense, when he wants to, yeah, in the sense like, see how many people come and do
This
this.
is a test.
It's attached to all of this. And we see, and we're gonna keep track of how many people come and how many people, how much, Mike is picking up.
You also can't pick up on 209 or 375.
28.
28. What's those streets?
28A.
28A, so that gives those residents an opportunity. So,
I make a motion to accept this authorization.
I'll second.
Resolution. All right. And second, discussion?
Yeah, I'm just curious, so I did this now, what's? Oh, that's that question, that's what I mean. How much does it cost now?
It's about $1 truckload
Dollar truck,
pickup.
it's not a lot.
Not a lot.
that's not the real cost.
It's basically what it is that, we actually, no, what I'm saying is here that when they come in there, so the employees at the house, they'll measure, usually they'll measure like a pickup truck worth, coming through,
And if they charge $1,
and they charge accordingly. I'm not quite sure if the charge is, but we haven't changed the charge for a long time. You remember the charges on that? I thought one of them was $1.
Don't they use it for anything?
At certain times it's free, but then we also.
So. This is not brush pickup, this is brush drop off.
That's right.
Right.
So the question I'm asking is about brush pickup.
that's the.
Oh, how much is it costing the town to have the highway?
Yeah.
Oh, I
To
got
have
it.
the highway picking up brush.
Sounds like a
Well,
question
it's
for
like-
Mike Schultz.
How you count
Or
time?
20. Or something.
Oh.
I would know, because, yeah, I
We don't get-
wouldn't
we don't
know.
get the- Honestly, we never see that.
We never
kind of
get the
breakdown.
breakdown.
We don't get that detail.
Steph, you never get that breakdown from, transportation.
Well, we also don't get the breakdown from Mike as far as, you know, how many employees he has doing what, how many trucks are out, how much fuel. I think that's a superintendent
He's
question.
always complaining about the fact that he has all this man hour doing this, and they could be doing nothing.
But it's a
But
certain,
the
They're not
town-
authorizing the town residents.
But the town never knows how much these things cost.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against Mike, but he comes, and he tells us what he's doing, and there's never a cost associated with it. And I never know what he's talking about, because I don't have a basis for his arguments. I don't have a budget.
Great, yeah. I hear
Yeah,
you.
I mean, there's a request from the town board for that, absolutely, yes, provided.
Well, we need to request that because it seems like, I mean, I don't have a problem with the experiment at all. But we need to have a basis on which to make this decision. We have no basis.
It's, I'm sorry not to interrupt, but it's $20 a cubic yard. So
Which is,
basically,
which
it's uploaded to your kind
which is a, which will pick up that.
Pick up what?
So again,
$20 to pick up.
so every time they go, every time they go out.
This is if you go with brush.
Oh,
the
we
transmission.
go and
To
drop it
answer
off.
that question, we have no clue what's costing us highway wise, so we get that information from us.
So figure it out, I mean, they get, you know what they get paid per hour?
I can't figure that
They're
out.
taking them, you know.
So it would be how many
But
guys?
you don't know
in
how
the
many
truck?
guys.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Mike should be doing that.
But we can request that, absolutely.
Mike, can you do that?
I will.
No, I think they're so much.
I will.
You understand the question?
Yeah.
I do know when we did leaf pickup, was, then we were contracting it out, and that was, well, 10 years ago, it was over 30,000. Just that season,
For season.
for us to contract that to, you know, a private
Somebody come in
individual,
with
30,000, and then after that, nobody would even bid on it, that's why it stopped. But we used to do it, wasn't through the highway, we hired a company to do it, and after, did it for quite a long time, then it got to 30,000, and nobody would even bid on it to do it. for that amount.
So the argument is that it's costing the town less than $30,000. That's an
Well,
argument.
this, that's leaves, we're referring to just brush.
Right, that was leaves and whatever, same kind of thing that.
Christmas
so many
trees, brush.
times we- But it helps
Winter Christmas trees too.
So we don't do it.
One week in each district.
Right,
A week in,
we're not-
It's 3
a week
days,
in, what's that?
right.
3 days here and 3 days
You gotta
there.
remember, we don't do a whole lot for people for the checks. They don't get a lot. We don't,
Yeah.
I don't do garbage, we don't do, that. Yeah, there's very, very little that we do look for free.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
And I think taking the service away.
Take it down.
but
We can do a test run, see what
We
happens.
can do it, we can do one, yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think, I think this is a good experiment to run, but I'd also just like to have a sense of.
This is gonna run for a month, not a week.
So much, from April 15th to May
at the
15th.
same time period that Mike is gonna be doing it as well, so.
But
Yeah.
it only be
We will do it.
Just
one
2
week,
weeks.
1 week.
Just
So,
2 weeks, yeah.
Right, it's a longer period.
Let's try it, see how it goes. Yeah. And now we'll do Stephanie. We'll ask, also the, transfer station guys, keep track on it.
Okay.
We'll get it, I get it.
You need to vote.
Did you get a second? Yes, I seconded it.
I answer. All right, any other further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The resolution to engage, this is gonna be you, Greg. Engage your professional engineering services to determine performance bond amount.
Yeah, I could write it for them. This is
I
more
don't
about.
understand this one.
Sure, this will be fun.
Say that.
See what you're talking about, Mr. Simpson.
So,
All right, this story. 2019.
I was on the board.
It's gonna take that long.
All right, everybody, let's look at it.
All right, so basically, what project was approved to do the 12 weeks development. One of the conditions of that approval was that they needed to get a performance bond. This is a surety bond that is between the town, Arizona, and a surety company to guarantee that the infrastructure that they say they're going to do gets done. So that the town is not on the hook for it. So that's what this is about. Somehow or another, between 2019 and when the resolution happened in 2021, then there was COVID, and years passed, and this ended up in front of me. So when I looked at it, it became clear to me that the town needed to assign the amount that's necessary for the bond. I can't do it. A professional engineer needs to do it. The resolution that was back in 2019 actually named Pretorius and Conrad as the ultimate engineer that was going to come up with that number. So really, this is us fulfilling the town's obligation to do that work, to get the number to Arizona, so that they have the number and they can execute the bond with the surety company. The reason why this is important here about the planning board is that this is a fiduciary matter. The planning board does not have authority to work with funds. It has to be the town board.
Okay, this is $5,000. Yeah.
So they got no provision in the original resolution for the applicant's payment. We have to pay that escrow because the decision has already been made, which means that our escrow zoning code does not apply, does not allow us to go back. We can only charge the escrow account while the determination is in process. Once the planning board makes a determination, we can't use the escrow account anymore. So the oversight was that the resolution, the original resolution did not make a provision for this work. So, correct.
So the resolution that you're talking about is from the planning board.
The planning board resolution in 2019 was amended in 2021.
By the planning board.
By the planning board.
So this is, so this is coming to us because we now have to pay the 5,000.
Right. Yes.
Well, this needs to be done before they start initiating construction and build. But normally this would be done during the planning board process. And when a resolution approving a site plan is made, it should include the bond announcement.
So it was the planning board, not a.
Planning board. We're correcting the planning board.
Gotcha.
In the ideal scheme of things, what should have happened is that that provision would have been made, that the applicant would have paid for it. The planning board would have ran the process such that the number would have been created. And then when Arizona had a surety company and a performance bond, that would be presented to the town board for its approval.
But we also know that there was a lot of problems with Arizona, right? Right. Yeah. Exactly, so.
I would put it this way, we're stuck for this bond. Actually, that's a bond. We're stuck with the
This is just to determine the amount.
And to be clear that that's just a maximum, Bruce Sutter, who's going to be doing the work, so thinks it's going to be substantially less than that.
So this, yeah, so, and then this will go back to the planning board. The planning board will take care of the next steps, right?
Yeah, so once the performance bond is executed, then
Yeah.
we will go back into essentially maintenance of the resolution.
Right, okay.
Right, so I make a motion to accept. Yeah, not motion, all right? Any further discussion? All in favor? Did the backhoe?
Your questions.
And what, I guess, to Mike, the questions you asked, and he responded to, if it's under you also, you find the guys. All right, next one is, resolution to authorize the payment for the climate smart EV website renewal. Mr. Shad, this is, you're the ones in charge of climate smart community. And this basically just, it's gonna come out of 4H, which is a capital fund for, climate smart community. He got a lot of money.
It's 27,
We have a separate website other than, it
Yes.
doesn't go on our town website?
correct.
Our town links to it. We do have a web page as a part of the town website, but then it also links to this website, which, by the way, Lynn Bailey created before she was town clerk,
The website?
this website, and it was before we had the new town website.
Right here on the screen, if you want to look at it.
The nice thing about this website is there's so much we can do with this that we would be constrained from doing
with just the one page that we get through the town.
So right now, we have another page on the website.
Because there'll be a lot more pages.
Right.
All of those things at the top would all have to be replicated. We can't get the design that we had.
Yeah, but this is 657.
It's $27.50 a month for 2 years. It includes the website, the domain name,
Who's doing the hosting?
Wix. Wix? Is it Wix?
So how much do you pay for that?
This is $27.42 a month.
Jeremy,
Yeah,
what about having Civic Plus?
I can answer that question. Civic Plus, the platform that we currently pay for, cannot support that.
the Civic Plus platform is very basic. If you wanted something that looked like this, you're not going to get it from them.
And it's really because it's, the platform that Civic Plus provides us, is a lot of guardrails so that people in the town can manage the website themselves, which essentially means putting up custom pages like this. That's not an accessible feature.
Now, was this part of some points also?
Yes.
Yeah, so this was a process. I do remember that this was part of how we became gold citizens.
Yeah.
So I do remember that this was something we.
Yeah, we get
the
points
bronze.
for this.
Yeah.
The bronze, yeah.
And now we're gonna be going to, we'll be renewing,
We're recertifying.
recertifying in 27.
The grant money would basically go into active use.
All right. Well, and just to say, maybe a little bit more history here. When I first took on this role as the Climate Smart Task Force Coordinator, I got accepted into the Local Champions Program. And a part of that was they gave us, the town, $8,700
Right.
at that point.
Yep.
And you were the supervisor then, and we agreed that we would use that money for Climate Smart Task Force, expenses. So of that money, I mean, I have kept track of it over the years in terms of, we've sent out mailers, for example, for our campaigns. We still have about $3,000 of that money. So this is, no cost to the town.
Sure. Another
It's coming
Come out of 4-H.
So there is a
Have a 4-H.
Grant money.
Yeah.
I want
So
to,
let's put that in, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say something also, I'm smart, you got 2 grants. $25,000 grant, $30,000 grant. $30,000 grant was to convert all our gas power tools to electric tools.
That's
We've
just
done
recent.
that, and a $25,000 grant to help,
We're not opposed to this. We're just asking questions so we understand the background.
well, I'm just saying, this is one of the,
I mean,
this helps us
that's the
get
questions
grants.
we should be asking.
Yes, I'm saying this helps get us grants.
Yep.
And these are a couple of we got.
So this is an outlier question. Why are we using this platform if we can?
Because it works.
It's not a good enough answer.
What do
It's
you want?
absolutely not a good enough answer. We're using a platform as I was saying. So the grant is paying for the 657.
Yes. Well, no, well.
It's for 2
Which
years.
said there's still $3,000.
So that grant is gonna come out of that.
Only for 2 years.
And what happens when it's done?
And we got the same decision.
So why not think about that now?
We just thought about it.
So we have,
Right,
it's
so to
3,000.
answer your question, some of us are thinking about that. And how we can merge all this together at a lower cost and with better
This is
service.
kind of, yeah, this is kind of not working. My brain might be very,
It's a very reasonable cost for a monthly cost. We got discounts before because we were new. But, it allows us to do a lot more with our web pages that we can't do on Civic
On
Plus.
Civic Plus.
It's competitive with other offerings. It's manageable. Wix.
So I think Greg's point is not so much the specifics of Wix and that decision, it's the fact that we're paying twice.
Exactly.
Well, we're not, none of the, very little of this stuff is on the town board's
Well,
website.
that's the
Well, he said
problem.
it could be.
But it
That's-
couldn't
that's-
be.
You're making my point.
But it
This is
can't-
the exact
The
point.
town, but we can't do it over there.
Well,
It
that's
doesn't
the point.
accommodate, it doesn't accommodate as much as we can accommodate on this platform that we're
Right.
using.
So he's saying, why can't we get something that accommodates more?
So potentially in 2
And Civic
years-
Plus costs a lot more money.
Yeah.
Get me started.
It's
Oh,
a lot.
I'll talk to you.
This is cheap. This is a cheap add-on compared to Civic Plus.
Well, we actually, Jeremy, with Civic Plus, we're paying something like $3,100 a year.
I think it's a little more than that. I don't have a bill in front of me, but yeah. And I mean, look, we can, all the information that's on the Climate Smart website, on the Wix website, we could put on ours, but they wouldn't be able to display it in the way they wanted. It would be very linear. It would be just a lot of single blue line clicks down the side.
Here we are in this world now with websites. This is crazy what you're telling me. This is not making any sense. I'm not, it's not.
No, I understand. I mean, and like I said, we could move everything from their website to our website. It wouldn't give them the appearance that they want and like on their website. And it's just two different animals. Budget isn't my wheelhouse here, but I fully understand what you're saying.
I hear that somebody's taking. Make a proposal.
Right.
That would be much more.
It'll come with a 2-hour presentation.
I'll be sleeping down. Is there a couch back there I can nap on?
So there's 25, 57 laws.
It's over 2 years.
You have a website, a web platform, so something needs to be.
We'll work on it.
We're working.
Still,
right.
It's 1/10 of the cost of the town.
Let's go. All right, so is there a resolution to authorize payment for the finance document? That's by renewal. Second. Any more discussion, Gregory?
Vote.
All in favor? All right, next one is the resolution authorizing the supervisor to execute an agreement with Jaffa Electric, for electrical work at Rumpke Park. This is actually what John's doing. We have a conduit that goes between the backstops. That goes.
Where's this coming from?
This is on 28, and not only that, this is part of, I'm going to get this reimbursed from the grant. We have an $80,000 park grant, and I'm going to submit this 1625 to them for reimbursement.
Should you put that in?
Is there a budget line in there?
Where would you put that?
Well, the only problem is that I have to submit this. We have to matching grant. In other words, the whole grant is 160. We put in 80, they put in 80. We've done that already. They may say to us that comes out of our portion. This is coming out.
Yeah, anyway, you have to pay for it first
Yeah.
and then they would,
Did reimburse
It's
it.
a reimbursable grant, but you say you're gonna put in.
or he's gonna submit it or reimburse it, but that doesn't guarantee.
Right. I mean, put this, they'll accept it, but they may say, this is your
Yeah.
portion.
But it is coming out with 20.
Coming out of 28, that's what we do.
What is it?
That's where we're gonna focus on.
28, right.
Yeah.
So, whereas the total cost of proposed work is one to be to be paid from budget line.
28.
Excuse me.
Make a motion as amended.
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Oopsie.
Thank you. You want?
I'll read it.
All right, discussions here. The mowing contract, it's online right now.
It will be, yeah. I mean, we'll put all that online tomorrow morning. Yeah.
We'll do that and next meeting, we'll go through it.
Okay, and then that's moved, yeah, so.
No, this discussion.
10 days after the next meeting.
Mhm. Memorial Day Grand Marshal and, homecoming World War II vet. We have two people, we have two names from West Hurley for the, Grand Marshal.
This is on Samara mostly, and then it was brought to the town board for relative vote on.
Yeah, so are you guys familiar at all with the candidates? Or I would just ask that you guys familiarize yourselves and then before the next meeting, get that together as to who.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably not.
What I'll do is, yeah, I'll have Jeremy, research the, names and send it to the town board.
Yeah.
I'll give you the name.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah. And also we have a World War II vet living in town of Hurley. I might be wrong to say that he's the oldest living World War II vet in Ulster County. Lowe's.
Oh, you're talking about, Gibbons, yeah. He was our grand marshal a few years ago.
I know.
Yeah.
I would like to,
Nice guy.
I'd like for us to recognize the fact that,
Okay, yeah. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He is really nice.
so, we'll make two plaques, John, one for the Grand Marshal and one for, Ryan Gibbons. And, during the parade,
The other plaque is saying.
Grand Marshal.
we're gonna, Samara and I can look that up and say that. All right, but the thing is though, we're gonna have them also in the car. I don't want to sit, right?
Samara does it for.
Last time I saw Rob. Still praying.
Update and repair on town hall. Got how much? We got, the entire cost. We got reimbursed from the insurance. I shouldn't get reimbursed. We got the insurance money. $31,000
Yeah, around that.
and so that's covering all the costs for this thing. If you come in right now, look at it, it did a nice job. Did a nice job.
Did our attic done yet or no?
Sorry, what?
The attic.
Not yet.
But he's
Okay,
moving.
we're just waiting on the attic. We got 3 bids to do it, and I'm waiting on, Rudy Ravinsky from Quest to come in.
I thought we would.
We didn't approve the vendor yet on this thing. We are gonna have this thing working on it. I'm waiting, like, we just got the variance back. It gives us the scope of the work. And what I've done with the variance, I sent it out to the 3 bidders right now, because they were asking, like, basically, like, what do we do? I got back 2 of them already. Waiting for them to come back for me decision. And, the price is raised from $56,000 to $156,000. Do this kind of thing.
That's for the attic?
That's for the attic.
That's for the.
The other thing we could do is close the attic door.
We still have to insulate it.
The problem still is.
That's a problem. Those of you are familiar, the problem was that we had the ice stand because of the insulation before. When we went up there to look at the insulation, we discovered, or I didn't discover, they discovered that this is asbestos tape, it's crumbling, it's flying, that has to be taken care of. So. And by the way, insurance company does not cover asbestos tape. Okay, Hudson Valley Water Company, we discussed that already. Potential switch to Archtop from Spectrum for town phone and internet. And this is right at this point right now. We have, the internet that we have right now, costs $140 right now. With Archtop, it's gonna be like $160. However, it's 1 gig upload and 1 gig download. With Spectrum right now, it's 20 megs of upload and 500 megs of download. And when I asked them to compare what Archtop is doing, they can only give us 50 megs of upload. So this is 1 gig. So this is good. And this is important because, and plus the fact we've had a lot of issues with Spectrum. Now, I understand from talking to people, I spoke to Wendy, that people, she said that people are having problems with Archtop right now. These are little bugs that when a new company comes in and starts getting good, it's a fire.
I had a replacement attic.
All right, it's now available in West Hurley, it's now available in Old Hurley. You have Archtop?
I got it too.
And I believe a lot of the line are underground too. All underground.
And Rolling Meadows are underground.
The ones that- the ones that come into the town hall are above ground, but the ones in Rolling Meadow, the ones in, are underground. Are you happy with that? So why don't we do this thing? So let's, this is a discussion now. I'll have the resolution.
I'm very happy to go to our shop. Certain just can't do what they do.
Well, certainly, what they're doing right now is raising prices.
So so, just so I understand again, you're making this decision because of what?
First of all,
Price?
well, price is one thing. All
It's
right?
Available.
And the thing is though, that in other words, the arts, Spectrum can't give us that 1 gig of upload and 1 gig of download.
What do you need it for?
So this is the speed basically coming through.
Our current IT that we were upgrading to do, this was one of the things that was, we upgraded our IT, so thinking that we were gonna be getting this 1 gig. And you guys already proved, you updated the IT. You keep Spectrum, you're not gonna be able to do.
Okay, upgrade it.
Town hall.
Yeah. Hey, Greg.
Okay, so the reason why the upload is so important is because as we move to platforms like Google Workspace, it forces us to do a tremendous amount more uploading.
Right.
For instance, uploading the NRI data set currently takes 2.5 hours at 20 megabits per second, at which time I pretty much knock out everything else that's going on. At 1 gig, that happens in minutes and everyone keeps humming along as if nothing else is happening.
You know, I like when you talk because I get clarity. Maybe we should look for all the technical stuff.
I think we are.
What do you think?
I think we have to. I was just gonna say that.
Let me just give you some more information also. When I spoke to, Spectrum, if we get a 1 gig download, and the most they need is an upload is 50 minutes, and that would run about $180. All right. When we have, Arch Style, we can get 1 gig up and down, and that'll be only 160.
So doesn't Archstop offer? So isn't there like an introductory, is this an introductory price?
This is for 2 years.
And then what happens after that?
Your guess is as good as mine. But I'm just saying, but it turns out that, we know it's now competition.
I'll
So we
say
can
it.
offset one the other. In other words, if we feel that our stuff is raising the price too much, go into Spectrum. We have to set up right away. So there's no problem with that.
It's a 2-year contract.
This is a 2-year contract.
And with the contract we're on now with Spectrum as well, 2 years too, or 1?
This is, I'm sorry, this is a 3-year contract with Arch Style, 3-year contract,
Oh, that's why.
161 a month.
How do you get out of that contract?
Just, in other words, there is no written contract with, Spectrum.
So it's month to month.
Yeah.
So we can do whatever, but we can't get out of this for 3 years.
No, we can.
I don't
In
think,
other words, the price they're giving us is a price for 3 years. If you say 3 years, this is the price. We can leave anytime.
I don't think contract is the right word you're looking for. It's an introductory rate for the first 3 years. After that, it could increase, but as far as I understand, we do not have to sign a contract
No contract.
or any lock-in with Archstop. I just did it residentially and there was nothing to sign into, I didn't have to sign a contract. It's just their introductory rate because they're new and they're trying to be competitive.
3-year Spectrum on them.
Well, the thing basically is that, as they're doing right now, is they're dropping off a little flyer in the stores, saying call this number, and they'll come in and they'll install it in the house. There is nothing, there's no contract, it's that.
Exactly,
Yeah, there's a service agreement,
This is a service.
technology consultant.
exactly.
Talking about Wendy, or you talk?
Both, actually.
I'm learning from Greg.
This is gonna be 161. And basically, it's a, they're giving a 25% discount for 3 years, make it 161.4.
So do you want us to vote on this or what?
No,
This is a discussion, this is a discussion. Link
So
resolution next time.
familiarize yourselves with it, get the paperwork from Mike and review if you have any questions.
I'll send it out.
Can you just send us the service?
Information agreement.
This is the basic quote. Send the quote, the information on that.
What I'll do, I'll send you quote it and I'll send inspection. to
No,
us.
but so, no, I want the service agreement.
There is no
There is no
service.
There's no service.
There is a service.
It's a service agreement.
No, not this. This is, I know what this is. I understand.
It's a non-binding service.
We'll call tomorrow,
Okay,
Mike.
okay.
We'll call
Yes.
Arch Top tomorrow.
We get it.
Yep, we'll get it tomorrow and then we'll get it on to pass on to all of you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Okay, hometown here's program, we talked about that. I'm done. John, you have anything to say
Good on
about
you.
the, recreation?
Working hard.
Anybody here wants to, anybody here wants to speak? Say anything?
I just want to add that, we did in fact submit the grant request proposal
The archival grant.
for the archival grant, the amount of about $23,000. The awards usually announced in July. The money's supposed to be released by the end of August, but last year it didn't get released till the end of the year. It was a
Okay. Okay, any other comment? Any? Nothing here?
Any public comment?
Okay, I make a motion to open public comment number 2. Second discussion, no, all in favor? No, Steve?
No, I'd like to come down and speak with you tomorrow, maybe or at some point if you have some time. That's okay.
Anybody else wish to speak?
I should share that the library last year had a lot of problems. And
I'm sorry, say again?
the library had a lot of problems last year with Spectrum when we hit a certain temperature, and I believe you
Yes.
guys had a lot of
We get the same
outages as
problem.
well.
with them.
So we
They, in other words, when you temperature reaches 75 degrees of red, problems arise. Temperature reaches below 75 degrees, problems arise.
We're right at 75, we're okay.
outage, but never give us a
Well,
restore time until it cooled down and then we would restore.
we had a contact, with Spectrum. And problem arises, there's a lot of noise, and noise in the wire causing 209 on Main Street. That was the problem there,
this
they
is
said.
public comment.
And they said they fixed it,
Close to-
and then a week later it happened again.
Right, so we also.
I mean, this is like all of Hurley, old Hurley, affected by it. I mean, we've had many calls in, many screening matches with Spectrum.
Yep.
And it's over.
I don't think it would hurt either, if specifically the library, if you asked about, stop for free. I know the fire stations are gonna be requesting some,
Oh, they had given us a.
they need some community service. So,
How about the clean center?
Any other
you
comments?
still
Other
need
comments?
Wi-Fi, once they get Arch Top.
Oh, you could use the library.
That's what I'm talking about.
I make a motion to close public comment number 2. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I make a motion to go into executive session. All right, public office for 1F, matter pertaining to medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation, or matters leading to employment, promotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. That's one. Again, there's one also on 103,
Collective negotiation.
collective negotiation.
Good night, everybody.
And, we're going to executive session with the town attorney as well.
Town attorney, also with John Sauer.
Deputy supervisor,
Really, all we need is some clarity about.
you have a motion?
Okay. All right, second, all in favor? Is that open in this?